Hello, welcome to our mathematics course about statistics. So today we're going to be starting this course and then we be talking about formulating statistical questions, gathering data, and using samples. So let's start it going to our first slide. So we humans are naturally curious about each other and about the world, right? We always want to find the answer about many things and to get to know other people, their interests, and so on. So we wanted to know others around us. We wanted to know what others around us think about the political questions of the day, the latest movies, the TV shows, music, similar topics of interest, and also local states and national government wants to know facts about population, like employment, income, education, in order to design appropriate programs. So when they can answer such kind of questions like employment, education, it's gonna help the government to formulate a question. Let's say, for example, no one has a problem with having cancer in this country. So why did it set up a program to help cure of cancer if no one having this problem? Or maybe just a small percentage. But how could they know that before trying to investigate the answer of those questions? So the best way they have to do it is by using statistical tools. So this is how we're gonna be. For example, if you have to investigate every person in the country, maybe it's a lot of work, lots of money to acquire that information. But when you do statistically, you can reduce the amount of money that you need to invest to find such an answer. So scientists wants to know how to cure and prevent diseases, as well as to know about the world around us. Therefore, news organizations, government bodies, and scientists regularly design investigations and gather data to help answer specific questions. According to guidelines for assessment and instruction in statistics education endorsed by the American Statistical Association, statistical problem solving involve four components. Let's talk about those four components, and they are formulate a question, collecting data, analyzing data, and interpreting the results. So the first step in statistical investigation is to formulate a question that can be answered by collecting and analyzing data. So data are pieces of information, and some data are numerical. So this is what statistics wants to work with, right? Numerical data, such as weights of apples picked in an orchard, the heights of students in a class, the volume of juice poured into the bottle at a bottling plant. These are some examples. But other data can be classifies differently as a categorical, such as color of the plastic dinosaur in a bucket, the eyes, the yes or no vote of each person in a class on some issue, the favorite pieces of playground equipment for each student in the school. So it's not a matter of finding numbers, it's kind of a matter of finding their opinion, right? Yes or no for this kind of issue. If you vote a yes or no, or what the color. So it's not talking about number in this case. So they're not numerical. Students can ask a variety of statistical questions. For example, in a class, if a class is planning a party, the students might like to know what the favorite snacks among the students in the class. So if everyone in a class receives a small package of candy as treat, the students might be curious whether all the bags contain the same number of candies. If the candies come in the different colors, the students might wonder which colors generally appear the most. So these are kind of example of statistical questions because they have something in common. I'm going to be talking about them. This is what makes them a statistical question. Students might be curious about how heavy their backpacks are. Are girls' names typically longer than the boys' names? Do bean seeds sprout better in the dark or in the light? How does the length of a pendulum affect the time it takes to swing back and forth? All these questions can be answered, at least in part, by collecting and analyzing data, which make them statistical questions. So what do they have in common? Did you ever reflect about this? We're gonna be address that answer, okay? How do they? what those questions have in common. But let's proceed here. Another distinguishing characteristic of the statistical question is that they are anticipate variability. And this is what they have in common, right? You did notice? So you don't have a one answer for each question, like this is a specific answer and they don't variate. So all the answers from those previous questions that were given as example to you, they have some variability. So the question, so statistical question is that they anticipate variability in the data that will be collected. For example, we don't expect all backpacks to weigh the same or all girls' names to be at the same length. So statistical investigations must anticipate and take into account the variability that naturally exists in most data. We're going to be doing some activities. So the theory is done, but also you're going to be learning something when you do the activities. So I hope you to see in the next section. And then we're going to be starting doing some activities.